You know, hunters, if there's one thing I know for certain about the Monster Hunter community, it's that people will overhype a certain monster to oblivion. And the usual suspects for this is Devil Joe and Rajang. But there's a new monster that I genuinely wasn't expecting to be overhyped and extremely over-exaggerated with. That being Kirin. And as you can see with the title, it has to do with Kirin's speed. And this over-exaggeration with Kirin was coming from my Monster Hunter illegal matchup video. There was a section in that video where I said that Ray Dow would win in a fight against Kirin because Kirin didn't have a way to actually put down Ray Dow. And I saw the same argument when it came to that fight, saying that, oh, Kirin would simply just be able to speed blitz Ray Dow because Kirin can move faster than you can blink.
Oh my god, bro. Oh, hell no.
Is that true that Kirin can move faster than you can blink? Yes, but I never brought that up as a point because we've never seen it be used in combat. At first, I kind of just brushed it off because, you know, a monster doing something in a cinematic or in like lore, but not actually doing it in a fight isn't anything new. But you know, for fun, I wanted to look into Kirin's speed. And what I found genuinely shocked me, pun intended, because not only does Kirin's speed actually make sense in game and in lore, it's also very consistent. So in this video, I'm going to set the record straight with Kirin's speed. By the way, I call this a problem because the Monster Hunter community is notorious with misleading information spreading. While obviously Kirin himself as only one monster isn't a big issue, I think it's always good to set the record straight when it comes to monsters, so there's no more miscommunication spreading around. And with that out of the way, let's get into Kirin's speed. So let's start with the whole blinking in and out thing. When you first see Kirin doing this whole blinking in and out thing, you might think that Kirin is just doing it inconsistently, but in reality, this whole blinking in and out thing does have a purpose. Mainly two purposes: general traveling when traversing the world and escaping dangerous situations. Now let me show you the proof. In this animation with Kirin and Rajang, you can suddenly see Kirin pop up out of nowhere. No fighting, no aggression, no nothing. This is just Kirin traversing the world. But then when Rajang comes in and tries to take down Kirin, Kirin runs away. However, right before Rajang is able to hit Kirin, Kirin blinks away using its lightning. But notice how Kirin doesn't blink back into the fight immediately, but instead takes some time, and then when it does come back, it's at a seemingly safe distance. Thinking that it has the advantage, it starts attacking Rajang with lightning, which obviously doesn't work. And so with Rajang being annoyed at Kirin's attacks, it shoots a lightning laser beam at Kirin. But if you look closely, right here, you can see that there's some blue lightning, and that's Kirin blinking out of the way to dodge Rajang's attack. But unlike before when dodging Rajang's attack, it doesn't come back. Kirin fled the scene. I feel like this animation does a pretty good job at showing how Kirin uses its whole blinking in and out thing. It pretty clearly shows that Kirin uses it way more in a defensive way than using it as a way to attack. But that's not all the proof that I have. In Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate, there's a very interesting cutscene with Kirin. Kirin is doing its whole blinking in and out thing with its lightning while also shooting lightning at the hunter. You might say, oh, well, there you go. He's blinking in and out and he's also attacking the hunter. That should prove that he can blink in and out while attacking. And I say no, this doesn't prove that. What is actually happening in this intro here, it's not Kirin attacking the hunter, it's Kirin trying to intimidate and scare off the hunter. Notice how its body language isn't aggressive, and despite the hunter standing completely still, Kirin isn't actually hitting the hunter. Kirin's hitting around the hunter to try and scare the hunter off. And this makes sense because Kirin is one of the more chill elder dragons. He doesn't really want to fight, he just wants to be left alone. And notice when Kirin decides that it wants to fight, it no longer blinks in and out. And my last piece of evidence to support that this whole blinking in and out thing with Kirin is for defense and for traveling the world. Notice how Kirin doesn't blink in and out when actually fighting Rajang. In fact, when Kirin is fighting Rajang, I'd almost go as far as to say that Kirin is being slow with its movements. Because you can't tell me that Kirin speed blitzes other monsters when he does this to Rajang.
Oh my god, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck?
And I'm sure you guys noticed because I've been showing it on the screen, but the difference between this fight that I'm showing right now and the earlier altercation that I showed with Rajang, Kirin was trying to escape. Yes, Kirin did retaliate against Rajang, but the moment that it saw that its lightning did nothing, it dipped. When it comes to this fight that I'm showing right now, Kirin is actively trying to impale Rajang, really trying to fight him. With all the evidence I've been showing, I feel like it'd be hard to argue that Kirin uses its whole teleporting with lightning thing as a way to combat and attack other monsters or even hunters. Speaking of hunters, would you guys actually like if Kirin blinked in and out while you're fighting it? You know what? I'm gonna answer that for you. Hell no. I'd even say comparing its top speed, which is teleporting essentially, it almost feels like it's going at a snail's pace. So what's a good compromise here? Because we don't want Kirin teleporting everywhere when we're fighting it, but we'd also like to see more when it comes to Kirin's teleporting and speed. And I think I found the solution that doesn't interfere with everything we've been seeing in the cutscenes. What if Kirin doesn't teleport while fighting the hunter, but when it decides to change zones, a quick spark of lightning and it's gone, and it teleports to another area? I feel like that would be faithful to the whole Kirin doesn't use its teleportation to attack people or monsters, but uses it as a way to escape. It'd be a nice, flavorful addition to gameplay, while staying true to what Kirin is as a monster. Honestly, I could talk more about Kirin, but this isn't a video about Kirin as a whole. It's really only about Kirin's speed and how it uses it. That's why the video is pretty short. But despite the video being short, if you made it all the way to the end of the video, please, for me and Kirin, hit the subscribe and the like button. I know some of you hunters that are watching me are wondering, wait a minute, Spottable, aren't you supposed to be on vacation? And the answer is that I am. But you guys have been showing so much love and support, and with the last video getting so many views in one day, holy shit, I decided to give you guys a little snack while I'm on vacation. Again, it's not a very long video, but at least it's something. And with that being said, thank you all so much for your love and support, and I will see you all in the next video. Stay safe, my hunters.